Hello, welcome to the Atomic Season Review Quarantine Edition. I'm in my jammies. We're gonna talk about this wonderful team that I put on the field this past season. Start off with win-loss record. Yeah, that first never starts with a 4. 44 and 118. That's 20 game swing. Has any team ever done that without completely overhauling their roster? I don't know. I do not know the answer to that question. But that's what we did. Our goal was 75 wins. Yeah. We didn't want to make any hasty trades. When I made that goal, I was envisioning that we were trading 4 players, thinking that we were within shouting distance of the playoffs. Not that we wouldn't trade away our best starting pitcher, but that's what we ended up doing. I guess maybe we did that goal. Improvement from our studs, specifically mentioned Tyron Ham and Riley Dupree. Dupree did really good. Tyron Ham got shipped off and then shipped off again. And we'll see if he gets shipped off again. But the other guys like Slav Kayer, nothing. Really got nothing from him. Veteran help, that we get some juice out of these guys on their last legs. They all got hurt. Literally every single guy we got hurt at some point during the season. And stay in shouting distance of the playoffs. Yeah, you tell me. So who's our MVP? Well, from the offensive side, it's a tie, really. I mean, look at these splits. I'll give you these numbers, and then I'll give you the names to go with them. So, first we have a slash of 327, 390, 551 with 30 home runs and 110 RBIs. And then we have a slash of 333, 409, 595, 28 home runs and 81 RBIs. That would be Riley Dupree and Jeff Lynch, respectively. So, I know Jeff did not contribute for the entire season, but, you want to give the nod to him, but Dupree showing up every day like he did when he ended up at one point basically looking like he was the only player on the ball club. So it's a tie there. Starting pitcher, Alex Cobb. He had the best WAR. Tyron Ham, maybe. He was okay before we traded him. He was just pissed off all the time. And relief pitchers, I got nothing. Maybe Mal Silver in the 40-man call-up. He might have a job next year. That'd be great. So who's our free agents coming up? Well, nobody significant, really. Jason Adams, he's a piece of glass. And when he does pitch, he's got like a 7 ERA. Ryan Arnold, who we brought in to try and help. Obviously, we're back in the rebuild. Full-on rebuild, so bye. Alex Cobb's the only guy we want to try and bring back. He doesn't want to talk to me. Called him. Texted him. It's like, bro, it's quarantine. I know you're home. If you're not, you're in trouble. He won't pick up the damn phone. So trades. Probably some outfielders. Obviously, with Lynch coming in, we're getting a little stacked there. Always nice to have some bench depth. So we may not move him. We'll have to see. The offer would have to be really good. It's tough trying to put a competitive team on the field in this state. So I don't know that we're going to move anybody. I don't know that we're going to bring anybody in. We'll wait and see. Maybe there's some stuff in the works. So our prospects. I mean, Chris Sharp. I want to talk about him for a minute. We'd like him to be a starting pitcher someday. He does not have the gas to be a starting pitcher right now. He's 18 years old, got some time to work on it. So we kind of threw him to the Wolves a little bit in rookie league, let him start. He struggled to make it out of the fourth inning. His ERA floated somewhere around 6. The stats were a little bit misleading. Last month of the season, we threw him in the pen. Put him as a closer, but also tried to get him some more reps. He ended up in his last 5 starts going, or 5 appearances going 6.2 innings and giving up 1 run. So, yeah, the move to the pen paid off. Hopefully, getting him more reps out of the pen increases his stamina. But at worst, we have a great closer in the works. Ricardo Maldonado, the shortstop, he crushed it in A-ball. We kind of have a backlog in the middle infield right now. It's a position that we've struggled to fill in the bigs for quite some time, pretty much since I've taken over the team. So we, we're moving people up maybe a little bit quicker than they should. He's struggling in Double A a little bit, but he should be able to sit there for another season or 2 if we need him to. And then, of course, Henry Moss, he was a September call-up. And, the way things are shaping up, he's going to pitch next season in the bigs, and he's going to get traded by the trade deadline and net us a second-round pick or something that we'll waste on somebody who's not going to do anything, and then the cycle will continue. Probably trade him to the Pants. So Pacifica, we know you were sad that you weren't even in the championship this year, so let us know what you got. Our top 3 picks. This is interesting. Shows that I suck at drafting, and why I got to stop trading for picks. Jose Martinez, there was some debate as to who was the best third baseman in the draft. We went with Martinez. In another position that, we'll probably end up with an abundance of as we try and figure out who's going to stick there. He got hurt for about a month. He was never really stellar, so, he's going to be in rookie league again, I think, to start next season, which is fine. It's fine. We don't need to worry about the Atomics being good for another 5, 6, 7 years. If we keep the same schedule, though, this sped up game schedule, this is maybe we'll get a shot at the playoffs by the end of this calendar year. Who knows? Joey Bart. So Joey Bart was pretty impressive. We have Eric Blue, who was thought to be the catcher of the future. He's up in Double A, I believe. So Joey Bart had a pretty good on-base percentage, a little lacking in the power slot, but he's got to work on his defense. It seemed like he was going to be pretty solid defensively, something that Blue didn't have quite so much of. That's not the case. He had, I think, 13 errors on the season, which is a little high. But, hey, we'll see. He's got plenty of time to work on it. And then Lane Bailey, again, we talked about that backlog at shortstop, kind of in the middle infield. Lane Bailey, we decided to move him up. He's a guy we took a chance on. Our scout Snyder loved him, but OSA didn't. You looked at his high school stats. Pretty sure he had a ridiculous WAR. He was pretty solid. So decided to move him up to A-ball because it felt like if there's going to be a bust, he was the less than sure thing. Give him a chance to shine. It didn't quite work out in the first season, but, again, as we keep talking about this long, depressing Atomics chain of trail of tears, shall we say, he'll maybe make it up to the pros and be a bust. That's what we'll look for. Money wise, financials. We ended up 450K to the good, mostly because of some of the trades and bringing in some cash and dumping some salary. A move to bring players in the start of the season really looks scary, but financially we're still okay. Attendance wise, another story. So when you have a team that ends on a very, very high note of last season, getting up to 64 wins, I think 7 games out of that third playoff spot because the division's trash garbage, or was trash garbage. It's frustrating because the season ticket revenue was up almost 10%. Season ticket sales were up almost 10%. Game attendance down 15%. How? I don't even think that math works out. But hey, they didn't want to come to the ballpark anymore. I don't blame them. I didn't go to the ballpark. I stopped paying attention. So what are we gonna do in the off season? That's the story, isn't it? We might fire the coach. I think we will. I just need to make sure that whoever we bring in has a good relationship with the players that we're currently have. A couple guys, I was thinking about promoting our bench coach. He kind of doesn't have the best relationship with Jeff Lynch. We'd like to keep Jeff Lynch happy because he's looking like he could be the star of the future. A couple key pieces in the lineup. So it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to do that. You got to really, I think we're going to do the Phillies method of not firing our guy until we know we have our guy. That makes sense. If anybody would like to make a joke about how I look like Grimace, please do so now. Sorry that the Atomics wear purple. That was my choice. I took over the team. I'm a GM. I don't make those decisions. Don't inject yourself with Clorox. If you want to do that, please let me know so I can watch. Do a Zoom call for that. Yeah, I think that's all we have for the comics. If anybody has a prescription for maybe some Zoloft or any sort of good antidepressants, maybe a Xanax, we're definitely going to want to take that going into next season. Good supply, that'd be great. We'd appreciate you sending that to Albuquerque. Yeah, it's been fun. Not. Have a good one. Happy quarantine.